The new moon in Aquarius is one with intensity, but also great fortune being promised to us now with this new moon taking place, speaking in supreme harmony with Jupiter. That means there's every reason for hope, for optimism, and for feeling like lucky opportunities are available to us seemingly out of nowhere. They just have a tendency to pop up when we least expect it. Now, what we also have is Pluto and Mercury not far away as well. That adds that much more intensity, but also meaningful focus to make the most of whatever feels like a fortunate occurrence to us now. Add to this the fact that Uranus, the ruling planet of Aquarius, is going direct. That is going to be a shock a minute, a surprise a minute, and that is going to be quite the jolt. Whenever it is that Uranus goes direct, it is a moment that we didn't expect, but it is very revealing of some truth that we didn't appreciate. Now, whatever truth needs to reveal itself, let it. Even if it is that it is really unexpected or really jarring in some way, it just might be part of propelling us into a much more fortunate future than we knew before. This is the ruling planet of Aquarius, after all, and that new moon says new beginnings that we love are in the works. Where it is that we're holding on too tightly to a situation that's getting in the way, or a person or a thing getting in the way of brighter blessings ahead, well, that's where the universe is set to be adamantly clear with us at this time. Now, what these two energies mean for you and your sign does depend on your sun, moon, and rising sign. Take all three into consideration and then synthesize the information to make it unique to you. Now, for all of us, there's one area filled with potential, but in order to get that big blessing, it means that we have to be willing to be surprised or jolted or waken out of some comfortable slumber and welcome in a surprise in order to allow the blessing in another area of life to take place. And what that is for you and your sign, we're going to look at now. And if you want even more horoscopes, of course, check out my YouTube channel, Nadiya Shah, and also the Superstar Space over at thefuturesmagical.com. Aries, the new moon in a friendship part of the sky says that new friendships abound, new connections with people that could end up being tremendously fortunate, especially in the big picture. Now, the surprise factor, the shock factor this week comes where it comes to money you earn and money that you spend. Not the easiest vibration, but this does suggest a moment of getting honest with yourself about what you value, what self-love is to you. But also, yeah, what's worth doing for money, what's not worth doing for money, whether it's earning it or spending it. And that in turn can put you on a whole other pathway towards way more prosperity than you knew before. And your friends help you to find those much more prosperous opportunities ahead. Taurus, the new moon takes place in an area having to do with career, social standing, life purpose. Very big and beautiful opportunities just might find you. Uranus going direct in your sign means that you are the bearer of surprise. Your realization about who you are, your identity going through a shift that you didn't expect, all become part of the signature of this time. So yes, you may have to jump or react very quickly to a given circumstance, but you have it within you. And ultimately, it does come down to you being true to who you are. When you do that, you get a lot more clear about what's worth achieving and what isn't to you, what success looks like to you and what success no longer is for you. And with that, opportunities show up that present a much more optimistic and hopeful future ahead. Gemini, the new moon taking place in fellow air sign Aquarius means that your world is about to expand in a way that you love. Jupiter is in your sign. You are the bearer of the big blessings now, and it is your optimism that makes positive developments take place, whether it has to do with travel, immigration, citizenship, higher learning, or legal matters as well. Now, add to this the layer that Uranus is going direct in the sign just before yours. And if anybody out there is likely to feel like what you didn't know, all of a sudden you know, and it's a huge surprise, it really is you. Now, this could relate to just about any person, place, thing, or situation, but whatever needs to come forward, let it. Ultimately, the truth will be cleansing. It helps you to feel like a fortunate karmic closure takes place, in some cases, very quickly now. But as you see a truth that might have been there all along, but as it is now, it is different. It changes your perception enough so that you know where you are obliged, where you are committed, and where it is that you no longer are. And once you know that, that in and of itself opens the world for you more than anything else. There's a spirit of confidence, a spirit of adventure calling you. Take that call. You'll be so much more glad that you trusted yourself and went towards the next adventure, the next opportunity, the next possibility coming to you now. Cancer, the new moon speaks to change, truth, transformation, but also wealth. And if it is that you're trying to access funding, whether it's grants, loans, or benefits that you qualify for, a higher credit card limit even, all of that could find you at this time with these new moon blessings. It's up to you how you're going to make the most of whatever does show up for you. But know that a lot of this says you are in a process of profound transformation, and it's rooted in being more honest with yourself about what it is that's okay with you, what it is that stays and goes. It's a time of transformation that ultimately helps you to be more authentically you in a way that feels enlivening and inspiring as well. Uranus goes direct in a friendship part of your sky. So whether it is friendships, whether it's group endeavors, these are the areas where there is a surprise a minute. In group endeavors, professional or personal, someone stays, someone goes. Someone behaves in ways you didn't expect, personal friendships or professional, and it's a game changer for you now. But Uranus going direct is very all or nothing. The people that sometimes you really expect to be there just aren't. But the people who you least expected, they show up and they end up feeling as if they open up all kinds of higher hopes and wishes in your life where you least expected it. There's a lot of optimism and excitement on offer here. Regardless of what happens with a particular person, remember, this is about truth. This is about authenticity. And you want people in your life where those connections are honest, they are real, they are genuine, making them that much more meaningful, but also that much more fortunate for you now. Leo, the new moon taking place in your opposite sign speaks to partnerships, including love. Yes, business partnerships can be especially fortunate for you now, but I do think many Leos are going to find themselves becoming more aware of where they are in love and how they feel about it. If anybody is likely to feel like love shows up or love magnifies in ways that feel incredibly fortunate, it certainly is you. Add to this Uranus going direct at the top of your sky, having to do with life purpose, higher vision, but also career. So just on a career level, if it's felt like a matter has been stagnant, now it starts to feel like it's able to move forward. But if it is that you have wanted or aiming for something, and maybe that's not the path for you, you're going to know it in a very undeniable way as well. It is about clarifying where you're going in a higher sense. And from there, people who are going to support that journey and help you to get there, who want to align with you and celebrate you along that path, well, they just might show up now. Virgo, this new moon taking place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with your daily life. And so, whether it is new clients, customers, coworkers, or immediate supervisors, those connections end up being prosperous and incredibly fortunate for you now on a level of the actual work you're doing and getting opportunity based on what it is that you do well. But there's also a sense of support from higher ups that feels like it encourages you that much more. Uranus is going direct in a worldly part of your sky, having to do with long distance travel, immigration, citizenship, higher learning, and legal matters. And so, in these areas, if it's felt stagnant, it can finally feel like things are moving forward. If it has felt like in these areas you've been waiting for an answer, or you've been stuck in a certain space, or you've been frustrated even, at least you'll know what it is that you can do and what it is that you're going to do. This is a very all or nothing energy. So either you're going to accelerate forward or you're just going to leave it, realizing that what feels like it isn't moving forward maybe just isn't worth it or isn't going to, and it really is okay. You get clear about what you believe now, and your relationship with the world improves as a result. Now, add to this, because of that new moon energy, I would say very good health related news can find many Virgos now, and it feels like a relief and a bright new beginning. Libra, the new moon is taking place in a part of the sky having to do with romance, flirtation, and what the heart wants in every area of life and happiness. And there's a lot of very happy, encouraging energy here with both air signs lit up. Jupiter in Gemini, this new moon in Aquarius. You feel right as rain. You feel very much like your element is magnified that much more. And that can make this time and these opportunities that much sweeter. That new moon takes place in a part of the sky that, in addition to what I mentioned, also has to do with luck and windfalls. So don't bet the farm, enjoy the journey, but yeah, you might want to place a bet, buy a lottery ticket of some kind, especially in the middle of the week, because you are likely to be one of the more fortunate of the zodiac now. But Uranus does go direct in a part of the sky that has to do with resources and wealth. If you have felt like you've been trying to access a loan or benefits or a higher credit card limit, well, now it can feel like at least you get an answer, or it feels like things finally move forward. And that could mean a flush of money coming in, but it could also mean you realize where it's not meant to come together, and that really is okay. Change, truth, transformation that helps you to be more authentic, where you've been betraying yourself, becomes very clear. And along with that, a pathway towards what it is that now you're understanding as what it means to be you and how you're going to more fully live it. It becomes crystal clear in an instant. And that in turn helps you to feel that much lighter, freer, and excited about your future. Scorpio, the new moon vibrations reach you at home, the past, the living situation, and your family of origin, your parents in particular. Great news on offer on these fronts. If you've been hoping to access funding or to turn home into a money-making endeavor, whether it's through buying or selling, or whether it is that you have a home-based business, this is a time of great prosperity. But yeah, good news related to your family of origin, related to where you live, how you're living, how you feel about it, related to a move. All of this could find you in ways that have you feeling very much on top of the world, in some cases quite literally. For all that, we do have Uranus going direct in your opposite sign. And what that means is changes in your partnerships, business partnerships or professional alliances. And it is in a jolt of awareness as to what is taking place with another person that helps you to realize whether they stay or go. Your answers are going to be very clear. Whether it is a romantic partnership, a business partnership, or alliance, either this person is going to help accelerate your pathway onward, upward, forward in exciting ways, or you realize this really ain't it. And in an instant, you go another way. Sagittarius, the new moon speaks to siblings, cousins, neighbors, and what's happening in your neighborhood. Well, this trine of Jupiter to that new moon says that there are very good events, good news taking place on that front. And in fact, this part of the sky having to do with fortunate news that you receive or communication does suggest that whether through a traditional letter, an email, or a phone call, it can feel as if your fortunes change for the better very quickly. You feel elated by the prospects and the possibilities. But yeah, getting good news related to what's just happening in the life of a sibling, cousin, and neighbor can be very heartwarming for you as well. So lots of luck taking place for them. Uranus goes direct in a part of the sky for you that has to do with your daily life. So whether this is dramatic changes as to clients, customers, coworkers, immediate supervisors, erratic behavior on their front, or maybe one of these people very suddenly stays or goes, could happen at this time. Now, this could also be you going cold turkey for a matter having to do with your better health. So whether it is something you've been doing, you don't want to do anymore, maybe you've been dragging your heels, maybe you didn't realize it was a bad habit. It comes to your awareness now, and in an instant, you're able to make a change. And also, in an instant, feel a whole lot better through some small change that it just might feel downright unbelievable, if not miraculous, how much better you can feel just by making one small adjustment. Of course, always do what's right for you, seek out the right medical advice, help, tests for you. But yeah, cold turkey, brand new health pathways that feel freeing and have you feeling lighter are very much possible now. Capricorn, new moon energy speaks to new financial opportunities. Money you earn, money you spend. Self-love, self-esteem are covered here as well. And so there is the sense of you feeling as if new opportunities show up that move you towards aligning with greater prosperity as you uniquely define it than ever before. And I don't say that lightly. It is your faith and you following up on some possibility, some opportunity that helps you magnify its potential that much more now. Now, add to this the fact that Uranus goes direct in a part of the sky that has to do with luck and windfalls, but Uranus is a wild card, just know that. So while it may not necessarily be the best time to say, put a lot down on a lottery ticket, if it really is no big deal, then you might want to do that. But where it is that you're hoping to take a chance or where there is some calculated risk needs to take place, your opportunity is going to come in a moment where you least expect it, but ends up being tremendously joyous. Another layer is that this part of the sky has to do with romance, flirtation, and fertility. So your fertility just might take you by shock or surprise, or it may feel like a flirtation comes out of nowhere, but in one way or another is a game changer. Aquarius, a new moon in your sign means brand new beginnings near and dear to your heart. What matters to you most and first is illuminated, but really whatever it is that you're really wanting, whoever it is you know yourself to be, take some step in that direction and you'll find it tremendously rewarded for you at this time. There's a sense here of luck being very much on your side in all kinds of ways now. So use this energy wisely. If anybody has a Midas touch right now, it is you. So start the thing that is most meaningful to you, and growth can happen very quickly and meaningfully. For all that, your ruling planet goes direct as well at the foundation of your chart. You're just about to understand home or your past or your living situation, or your family of origin differently in some way. Now, for some, it's going to be a path illuminates in terms of your understanding of your ancestors. For others, this could bring dramatic shifts to buying, selling, moving, attracting a roommate, or to a home-based business as well. Or just your relationship with your parents gets a lot more honest and a lot more clear, depending on your unique circumstances. The foundations of your life shift. They become more honest, more real, and more liberating, more free of hassle and confusion, and instead crystal clear. As you understand where you've been, you now know that much more where you're going. Pisces, new moon vibes, speaking to what's happening on levels of soul, psyche, spirit, and the unconscious. So something really powerful is shifting within. I will say this is energy of very good karma and fortunate karmic closure. So whether something comes in or it leaves, it's going to be something that doesn't feel necessarily in your control or in your hand, but you are so grateful for it, whether in the moment or very soon after. The best stuff just finds you seemingly out of nowhere. Uranus goes direct in a communicative part of your sky, whether it's in your neighborhood or with siblings, cousins, neighbors. There are surprise developments set to take place, but as information seems to find you, again, seemingly out of nowhere, it can change so much. It can help accelerate your pathway forward, help you to understand where you're going next, and feel truly excited about the next steps ahead. Now, it might also be these siblings, cousins, neighbors I mentioned. They might be making choices in their own life that feel downright erratic and unexpected, but you know it's about them and it really is okay. Thank you so much for watching. It'll be a great week. Enjoy.